merchant. Once there was a merchant, a kind and a lenient man. He had a donkey. Now, Mr. Donkey was his only transport to carry salt to the market. Every morning, he would load 2 bags of salt on Mr. Donkey and off they would go to the market. On the way, they would cross a river. One very unfortunate morning, the merchant loaded 2 bags of salt on Mr. Donkey. Mr. Donkey, while crossing the river, he slipped and he tripped and he fell. And when he got up, he was shocked and surprised that the weight on his back seemed lighter. Why? When he looked at the merchant didn't look happy. Now, do you all know why the bags felt lighter? The salt in the bags had dissolved in water. They had to turn back and go home. The next morning, again, as they were on their way to the market, the donkey was a little anxious to cross the river because he remembered his fall. Then he remembered the weight getting lighter. And as he stepped into the river, our donkey again, he slipped and he tripped and he fell. And when he got up, the weight on his back was lighter. The donkey was happy. Hee-haw! And the merchant, he wasn't. They had to turn back and go home. The third day, our Mr. Donkey did the same. And the merchant now noticed it. Once, twice, thrice. And moreover, the donkey seemed too excited and happy. He was braying all the way back home. Hee-haw! Hee-haw! The merchant knew something was really wrong. That Mr. Donkey was up to something. So the merchant decided to trick our Mr. Donkey. The following morning, he loaded Mr. Donkey with 2 bags of something. Could you all guess what it is? And as they reached the river, again now Mr. Donkey did the same. He slipped and he tripped and he fell. This time when he got up, the weight wasn't lighter. It was heavy. The donkey couldn't move. His legs were shaking. And then he looked at the merchant and the merchant was laughing. And he told the donkey, you can trick me once, you can trick me twice, you can trick me thrice. Now it's my turn to trick you. I loaded the bags with cotton. And what does cotton do? Absorb water. That's why the bag became heavier. The merchant was laughing all the way as they returned back home. The donkey had a hard time carrying those cotton bags. And this time I think the donkey learned his lesson. That brings us to the end of our story. Thank you. Hee-haw!